controllers. And the North Las Vegas Police Department responding to a helicopter crash at the North Las Vegas airport Sunday night. Officers say the helicopter crashed during takeoff and is currently on its side. Luckily, there are no serious injuries. I'm Sue Guzman. This is Fox News.
I'm Shana
This
Green.
Lent, Mezcla Fusion Bistro invites you to embark on a culinary journey filled with both tradition and innovation. Our specially crafted Lent menu celebrates fresh, local seafood, reimagined with Chef Peter Duenas' signature fusion flair. Mezcla Fusion Bistro, where tradition meets taste this Lent and beyond. Visit us online at mezclaguam.com or call 671-479-2652 or 671-479-2653 to make a reservation.
Half a day. This is Jade Uggan from Security Title, and in celebration of Tomorrow Month, here is a tip on dealing with your land. You might be thinking of giving part of your property to your child or another family member. Once you have subdivided the property and recorded the map, you will also need to record the deed transferring the title. Just drawing the map is not enough to make sure they actually own the land. Protehi I Tanonmu. When it comes to your family land, call the professionals at Security Title. We are here to help.
Celebrate a decade of impact with the Micronesian Conservation Coalition at their 4th annual Ocean Gala, happening Saturday, March 15th, 2025 at the Hyatt Regency Guam. This year, MCC honors 10 years of conservation excellence and connectedness across Micronesia with the theme 10 Years, One Ocean, Our Islands, Our Future. Reflect on a decade of achievements and join us as we look forward to the next chapter of protecting Micronesia's island ecosystems. Enjoy an unforgettable evening featuring a showcase of MCC's 10-year journey, the Tide Changer Awards, live music, dancing, delicious food, and more as we unite to celebrate our shared ocean. Tickets are available now at micronesianconservation.org/Ocean Gala or on Eventbrite. Just $150 per person or $1,400 for a table of 10. Sponsorship opportunities are also available. Email micronesianconservation@gmail.com for details. Join us in celebrating 10 years of conservation and hope for the future. See you there.
Listen to The Point anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Find your favorite stations like The Point and discover more. Music stations, local and trusted news sources, sports talk and team coverage, plus today's biggest podcasts. Find it all on the Odyssey app. AUDACY.
Welcome to Veterans with Benefits. The time is now 6:07 p.m. We are an all-audio program this afternoon with your hosts, Anthony Tyrone and Corinna Ballista.
Half a day. Welcome back. All right. Of course, we always want to thank our sponsors. You're listening to us on The Point. You can call in at 671-888-TALK. On 93.3. Thank you to Ambrose Inc., American Legion. I think they just had their steak day and we missed it. Every second Saturday. Habzaba Family Medical Clinic in Tamuning. Master Blasters for all your blasting needs. 11Z's. It's almost gone, but I got the raspberry tea. So yummy. Raspberry tea. So yummy. And then also Domino's Pizza. Oh, hello? Jose? You still there? Oh, okay.
We're here.
Oh, okay.
We're on.
It dropped really fast. Domino's Pizza, JTC Services, and the Most Services. And Anthony, you have you have the tip of the week, and I think it's just tip of the week. Oh no, I think it's just question of the week. So Anthony and I are with I forgot HMI. Nonprofit organization HMI. It was founded in 2020? And so what we do is we hold monthly benefit boot camps, and we also do a lot of outreach events to, help veterans understand and, teach them about all the benefits that they deserve or they're entitled to. I have to do Veteran of the Week. Mm-hmm. Oh man, we can't show the picture, right, Jose?
Not today.
Oh, okay, no worries. So our veteran of the week is Jeff Gelke. Jeff Gelke is a dedicated Marine Corps veteran and seasoned leader with a distinguished military and civilian career in logistics and operations. He served in the United States Marine Corps from 1983 to June 1995, accumulating 11 years and 8 months of honorable service. During this time in the Corps, he specialized as a 0402 logistics officer, playing a vital role in coordinating and managing military logistics operations. Gelke's career holds a deep connection to the history of the Marine Corps on Guam. He was the last company commander of the Marine Corps Base Barracks on Naval Base Guam before its deactivation, marking the end of an era for the Marine Corps presence on the island. Additionally, he had the unique opportunity to know and serve alongside General Vicente Ben Blas, the Marine Corps' first Chamorro general and a highly respected leader. Following his military career, Gelke continued his commitment to the Marine Corps and its mission. He currently serves as the Chief of Staff at Marine Corps Base Camp Blas, where he plays a key leadership role in the establishment and operations of the base, ensuring its success in supporting the strategic presence of the Marine Corps in the Indo-Pacific region. With a career spanning both active service and leadership in Marine Corps operations, Jeff Gelke embodies the principles of honor, courage, and commitment, leaving a lasting impact on the Corps and the communities he serves. Let's thank him for his service. Let us honor his service. Jeff Gelke, Veteran of the Week. All right.
Yay!
Your turn.
Is that our Jeff Gelke?
Yes.
Oh my
yes.
goodness, I have not seen him in a
Yes,
while.
I know.
He is a really high-profile gentleman,
Yes.
and he's really taking care of a lot of things out here
Yes.
for our Marines up there at Camp Blas. So he's very instrumental in keeping things going up there. So yes, make sure you go pick up your pizza over at Dane. Dane is a
yes.
veteran over at Domino's. He's not a Marine, but he is a veteran. So get a hold of Domino's. Go get your pizza. If you don't want it, Jeff, get it to me. I can eat pizza.
You always say that.
I know.
And then
Okay.
you're going to do our
Um,
veteran.
the tip?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a question? Can I use my VA disability benefits to receive health care for non-service connected conditions? That's the question of the week. Yes, veterans can receive VA health care for both service-connected and non-service connected conditions, but the level of coverage and priority depends on their VA disability rating and eligibility group. We have a breakdown below, so it's service-connected versus non-service-connected conditions. So service-connected conditions definition: a disability or illness that was caused or aggravated by military service and is recognized by the VA as service-connected. VA healthcare coverage, fully covered by VA, including treatments, medication, and hospitalization. No co-pays for eligible veterans. So non-service connected is a medical condition that is not related to military service, such as general illnesses, example, diabetes, high blood pressure, or injuries sustained after service. Covered based on VA eligibility, priority groups. So it's covered based on your VA eligibility and your priority group, but may require co-pays depending on the veteran's income, disability rating, or other factors. Okay, so some citations related to this are 38 CFR, subsection 17.36, and M21-1, Part 3, Subpart 5, Chapter 4, Section A. Wow, that's pretty long. How VA covers non-service-connected conditions. Even if a condition is not service-connected, veterans may still qualify for VA health care coverage based on factors like income, service history, and VA disability rating. Here's how it works. VA priority group and eligibility. The VA categorizes veterans into 8 priority groups. Priority Group 1, veterans with 100% service connection disability receive free care for all conditions, including non-service connected ones. Priority groups 2 to 6, veterans with some level of service connection, 10 to 90%, may receive free or reduced care for non-service connected conditions. Priority groups 7 to 8, veterans with no service-connected disability may still qualify for VA health care based on income thresholds, but may need to pay copays for non-service connected treatments. Okay, free care for some non-service connected conditions, regardless of service connection. The VA provides free care for certain conditions. It's basically what it's saying. VA copay requirements for non-service connected conditions. If a veteran is not 100% service connected, they may have to pay copays for treatment of non-service connected conditions depending on their income and priority group. Okay, can I use VA and private insurance together? Yes, veterans with private insurance, example, employer-provided Medicare TRICARE, can use both VA healthcare and private providers. The VA will bill private insurance for non-service connected care if the veteran has coverage. Medicare and VA healthcare do not coordinate directly, so veterans must choose VA or Medicare for a particular visit. Veterans with Medicare Part D prescription coverage may still use VA prescription at a lower cost. That must be if they're not service-connected. Because I believe if you're service-connected, most of your prescriptions are covered by the VA. Key takeaways. Service-connected conditions are fully covered by the VA with no copays. Non-service connected conditions may be covered depending on the veteran's priority group, income, and disability rating. Some veterans may need to pay copays for the non-service connected treatments, but low-income and high-priority veterans may have them waived. Veterans can use both VA and private insurance for additional health care options. All right, so I think that should cover that piece of the question of the week.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you want to say hello to someone?
Yes, I do. Do I do that now?
Yes.
I wanted to say hello to Knox and to Aaliyah and to my mom.
All right. So Jose, you said we're audio only? No photos?
No photos.
Okay, no worries.
For now.
I had a really nice picture of Gilkey up there. Or I
Do
said
your best to describe
yes.
it.
Well, I mean, he's the chief of staff over
Let's see
there
your
at Camp
skills.
Blas. So,
Let's hear your skills.
but let's say hello to those listening to us online. Joanne Religion says, good evening. Half a day, everyone. Vincent Santos. Elizabeth Kichichu, buenas. Brennan Fausto, let's go veteran warfighters.
Hello.
U.S. flag, Guam flag, and a salute. Joseph Ramos, evening HMI and veterans. All right. Let's quickly talk about the things that are coming up before we introduce our guests. So what we have coming up is tomorrow we have benefits boot camp. Oh my gosh, 38, Anthony? We're on
Really?
38. Yeah.
What, 38 boot camps?
Yes.
We did 38 of them?
Yes.
So that's to help all the veterans on island?
Yes. to
What's the
help
name
all
of
the
your group
veterans.
again?
HMI.
HMI. They are really good, aren't they?
Yes.
Do they do anything else other than just that?
Yes,
What do they do?
of course. They help veterans, talk to veterans,
They have chatting with the coach,
chatting with the coach.
What else do
a
you
lot of
do?
outreach events.
outreach events. Are
we
you
do the
kidding
Guam
me?
Veteran Task Force.
Do we find other veterans out here that do good things for our veterans and
Of
keep
course we do.
working veterans together?
Yes, we collaborate.
And what's the name of your group again?
HMI.
HMI. Do you guys
Ihanana
have a
imagahe zan I anina.
Do you guys have a task force that you guys
Yes.
work under that you bring
Yes.
groups together?
Yep.
Wow,
Definitely.
you guys are really something, aren't you?
You're being funny. So anyway, so we have Boot Camp 38, March 11 to 13 in Santa Rita from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Come on down if you haven't registered. Go to www.hmiguam.com. It's absolutely free. Then March 18 to 20 at the Sunrise Conference Center, we'll have the Veterans Summit. That will be from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., 4:30 p.m., depending on how many questions people ask, how long the presenters take. We're gonna have resource tables. It's gonna be great.
What's
and
that
then that one's 18 to 20.
That's next week, right?
That is next week.
And that is our Veterans Summit, right?
Yeah, Veteran Summit.
So what are you going to do with that summit again? You're going to have people come and there's
Come
service
speak.
providers for veterans and, veterans and service members, right? Because it's going to be
Yes.
for those transitioning out.
Yes.
So that'll be a great place to go if you were like a service provider and you wanted to capture some of the people that might be in need of your services, right?
Yes.
We could get them to see you firsthand because right now there's no place where anybody can go that they can get all this information all in one sitting. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So we don't have a website. We don't have a committee chair that might be working on something like that.
No.
But you have a task force.
Right.
And you have a group called HMI?
Yes.
Really? Are you
Okay,
kidding?
I'm moving on,
Okay, go
sir.
ahead.
And then March 14 on Friday, we have the oversight hearing.
Oh, okay.
That's by Senator Sabrina Salas Manzanani.
Yes.
March 14, 9 a.m. oversight hearing of the Guam Office of Veteran Affairs. So that'll also be broadcast live. So that's just an oversight hearing. So even though veterans do want to speak and voice their concerns, they can send that directly to their office.
Right.
Because the only ones that will be speaking will be the agency themselves.
Oh, so people aren't going to be able to
No.
provide input?
The only one that would be doing the input. I mean, they can go and watch, and they can also watch on the legislature live channel. But the inputs, you can email it to them. But no veterans are going to be able to give any testimony. It's just
Is that normal for most oversight hearings?
I have no clue.
We had an oversight hearing a couple of years ago, right? Or was that just last year?
Was that last year?
Yeah, the vice speaker.
Oh yeah, Vice Speaker did the oversight hearing for that office, same office, and then because of that, they got $1.3 million
Wow, that was
to
great.
hire more people.
And what did HMI do right before that
We
oversight
did
hearing?
phone banking.
You did phone banking.
Yep,
And what did you do
we
with
called
that?
all the veterans and said, "Come on down and
what did
go
you tell
testify.
them? You tell them to
Come with solutions."
come with solutions, right?
Yes.
And try to help take care of that GOVA office.
Yep.
And guess what? They got some money, right? So we're still waiting on what the outcome of that money is. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay. So right now, do we want the veterans to come down?
We do. We want them to come down because, even though they won't be able to speak, they'll be able to, to listen. But they do have a chance to email ahead of time and just voice their concerns.
Jose, is that commonplace to have an oversight hearing and not have the public there to speak?
No.
That's-
Well, the thing is that you want to have it very transparent. You want to have, it doesn't have to have audience participation, but there ought to be people to be able to observe.
I mean, isn't the oversight hearing to take care of the people that voted these people in and let them see what's really going on in their government? Because isn't it the people that own this government?
I think you've said it very well.
Okay. So maybe we'll see whether that changes next time we go around.
Yes. And then we also, all veterans come out, and then it's also going to be broadcast live. So I'll be sharing that in all of our group chats. But I know last time we were able to provide testimony. I just hope that that's the only bill that will be heard, because it's a pretty busy time.
One of the best things that can be done is to petition a whole bunch of veterans and other, what do they call now, stakeholders to write letters. And if you flood those who are accountable, it does get an ear.
Yes.
And it's documented as well.
Yes,
It
and
cannot
that's
be
why,
deleted or erased or never minded.
Yes, and that's why we push it out. That's why we pushed it out, so early, because we want veterans to provide some input. That's why we did it. So that's coming up. Yeah. So we have the boot camp, then we have the summit, then we have the oversight hearing, and then later on, maybe right before we end the show, we'll talk about the new bill that was just introduced.
There was a bill that was introduced?
Yes. So she pushed it out. Yes. So we'll talk about that later. Let's get to our guests.
Oh, our guests. Okay, yes.
Let's get to our guests.
I guess we'll get to our guests.
Yes. And then we have a lot more comments online.
Okay.
So we have Miss Diana and Lay from Agility.
No. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Well,
Yes.
normally what I do is women that need no introduction.
Oh, I stole your thunder. I stole whatever he normally says.
So
but yes, welcome to the show, and I guess they could introduce yourselves.
there you go.
Talk about who you are, what you are, and I'll definitely be sharing. We've tried, right, Anthony, for like a year, right? Almost a year.
Hey, persist.
Months. No, we'll just say
Persistence is
months.
key.
Pays off.
To get you guys on air, because it was actually Ray Gibson that said, "Hey, can you guys call these people, get them on the air?" We're like, "Oh, okay." And so we tried. We met you at the Chamber of Commerce. We met you at Year of the Veteran.
Maybe that's
and
why
now
Ray
you're
has
here.
been giving us that dirty look, right? He goes, when I tell you guys to do something, you need to do it. And we want him to know that we did our part. And here they are. So now he's going to we'll be in good graces with Ray these days.
All right. So
Thank you
go
for having
ahead,
us.
take it away.
Yeah, thank you for having us. My name is Diana Lay, and I am a daughter of Guam, born and raised on Guam. And I just to speak a little bit to my service. I'm also a veteran, and I went to the Service Academy, West Point, in 2000. I entered in 2003 and graduated in 2007. I was applying to the Service Academy, and 9/11 happened, and after that happened, I was like, okay, let's go. And then the thing is, so I was fully qualified, but I actually did not secure a nomination for that year. And I was given a different option to enter the Service Academy where I was required to go to a civilian military school for a year. So I went to New Mexico Military Institute, and from there, as long as I met all the requirements, I was guaranteed a spot in the following year's class. So that's what I did.
Wow, that is so good, and we were talking about that a little bit earlier, and that is another option. So for those of you out there that are in high school, right, and you are getting ready to apply to the academies, be sure you reach out to Miss Diana here and have her give you a little rundown of what's going on. Now, she is quite busy, but I'm sure she'll set some time aside to take care of our local folks and kind of steer you in the right direction. And I was quite impressed to hear that the ability for you to go through a military institute. How did you describe them?
So it was a civilian military institute that was under the direction of the West Point. So this is different from
prep school.
The prep school.
Yeah.
So it's a different avenue.
Right. So prep school, right? You could go in and not get selected, and then go through the prep, and then eventually they bump you up
The following year.
Right. The following year.
And then this is a different avenue, similar to the prep school, but then this is just to allow a greater audience to be able to go into the Service Academy.
So essentially, what we're saying here is there's a lot of other options if you don't get selected, right?
Because you don't secure the nomination, rather.
Right. Exactly. And we're tell the number again about how very sought after these nominations are.
So it is harder to get into a Service Academy than it is to get into Harvard. I mean, the acceptance rate is less than 10%.
Golly. So for those that don't get accepted, right? It's not that you're not good enough, right?
Right.
They just selected somebody else, and it could be any number of things, right? And I think so my son had the opportunity to do this, and just like you said, right? He was not nominated, right? And I think here on Guam, right? I mean, our previous Congress people like Robert Underwood and Madeline Berdalio, right? I mean, I'd like to go back and take a look at how many nominations we had, right? Because I think you mentioned they get 2 per academy, the delegates, right?
Two per academy, and as long as their nominee is going through the academy, that slot is actually taken up.
Okay.
So it really does kind of limit. But the thing is, this offers different ways to get into the Service Academy without having to secure a nomination.
And I was made to believe by somebody that did attend one of the academies that they are able to switch services, right?
Yes, they can.
Okay.
You can at the time of graduation, you're able to apply for a branch transfer. I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but basically based on needs of the armed forces. Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Well, let's get to what you're doing here and how you can help the veterans.
Do we want to introduce our other?
Yes.
My name is Kim Dick. I am not a daughter of Guam. I'm a transplant, so please be kind.
We'll accept you.
And also not a vet, civilian. Just proud to be of service.
Okay.
But yeah, just started working with agility within the past year or so. But I worked on Camp Blas for a while and decided I needed to serve in a different way. So happy to be here.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you.
Welcome.
So as a veteran, service-disabled, veteran-owned small business of Agility Prosthetics and Orthotics, I provide prosthetic and orthotic services to not just veterans, but also to the local population of Guam. And what makes us different is, we have even if you're prescribed an off-the-shelf item, I custom fit a device to you, or I can also service current devices, or in this case for veterans, they'll receive, especially if you're a veteran who has an amputation, or like commonly also like osteoarthritis of the knee, so knee pain. You can get a referral from the VA, and they've been cleaning up their referral services to me in the past several months. So I'm like really happy to see that there's a much smoother flow to getting veterans seen by our clinic. I also see Shriners. I also work with Shriners Children's, so I see the kids on Guam and Saipan. Wow. But like being a small business and just being like a 2-person operation, we are definitely busy, but then also always willing and ready to like be at the service to veterans and others here.
And I'm sure that's very rewarding work when you have to, for example, provide prosthetics for folks that now are able to move around based on the kind of work you do now. You got to make sure that prosthetic works well with them. Is that correct?
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of patients, veterans, think that in general that once they get a prosthesis that it's all cherry from there. But things like there's a lot of things that need to happen before and during this process. And I'd say if you're sitting down, I would encourage people to get up safely, as long as you're able to ambulate safely and be upright. That's definitely how you set yourselves up for success, because it is a lot of work to receive a prosthesis. And when I say a lot of work, I mean there's a lot. You actually have to think about how you want to walk. And
you got to almost like learning to walk again.
Absolutely. And then just it doesn't feel like you, but part of what I'm seeking to offer is, I know that Guam has been at a disadvantage in terms of receiving veteran services for a number of years.
Oh, yes.
Because, we're just way out here in the far west, and, Hawaii's been, inundated with all their other veterans in Hawaii and American Samoa and stuff. So I'm aware that, the prosthetist from Hawaii hasn't been able to come out as regularly. And I know that the main prosthetist from Hawaii has... they left, and that was about 2 years ago.
Okay.
But my desire is to be able to fulfill basically a vacuum, a space that has been left in this time, and provide services to veterans and show them that they can receive quality care on Guam.
Wow, thank you. And I think we're going to catch up a little bit more, but I think we might be headed to a quick break real quick, and then we'll catch up some more.
Sounds great.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're listening to us on The Point. We'll be right back.
Tunay na kaibigan at handa para sa inyo. Ang bangko ng kinabukasan, laging maaasahan. And Pacific, where others dug branches, we place roots.
Fox Facts.
In the U.S., we eat quarter pounders with cheese, foot-long hot dogs, and fill up our cars with gallons of gas. So why is the United States one of the few remaining countries to regularly use what is known as the imperial system of units? Despite the Metric Conversion Act, which was signed in 1975 by President Ford, the U.S. has resisted a complete transition to metric due to historical precedents, economic considerations, and the cost of conversion. Nearly every country has adopted the metric system as their primary method of measurement, also known as the International System of Units, or SI. It was created in France in the late 18th century based on units that include meter for length, kilogram for mass, liter for volume, and even second for time. But even in the United States, it's impossible to completely avoid using the metric system as we run a 5K race or purchase a 2-liter bottle of soda. Matt Murphy, Fox News.
And we're back. Let's read some of these comments online. So Vincent's no, I think I read that one. Charlie Hermosa goes, Semper Fi, guys. Have a great show. Is Tony wearing a hat? Just taking a guess, since he can't see you. Luisa Borja, hello, Karina and Anthony. Viva Mesh Chamorro, Viva Veterans. I'd love to discuss the opportunity to collaborate our programs. I'm with the Guam Comprehensive Cancer Control Program and would love to work with you in assisting veteran cancer survivors. Please direct me to where I can reach out to you and discuss more. Thank you for your service. Yes, ma'am, I will reach out to you. Joe Tenorio, thank you, Mr. Tyron and Miss Balesta, for all that you do for the veterans. I'm sure our veterans appreciate you both for all you do. See Joe Tenorio. Right. Charlie Hermosa, we also have a strong senator. I'm not sure what that was for, but I think we talked about, we're going to talk about the bill right before we jump off. We'll talk about that. So we have in studio with us Agility. We have Miss Diana, Miss Lay.
Kim.
No,
Sorry, Kim. Sorry. Lay's your last name, right?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. Gosh.
Yes.
Sorry.
I've got a weird
You guys got first name, last name, first name. And so we've been trying to get them on the show since we were introduced to you guys.
Yes.
And you're finally here.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we
you
met you
were
at the
so-
Chamber of Commerce and we're like, hey, when are you guys going to come on the air? I have my calendar out and I was like, come on.
I mean,
and-
this
yeah,
past
so
year's
you're
been a
here.
little tough for us. I mean, my father passed away this time last year. So, and before last year, I was a one-person shop show. Yeah. So then I finally getting Kim on board, it's really helped in terms of like our office operations and flow, and so been able to focus on the things that mean, improve clinical care, basically seeing more patients and getting them through the pipeline. So.
Yeah, and thank you for doing that. And you did mention a little bit about, sometimes, the challenges that Hawaii has, and it always sounds like, we're being upset with Hawaii, right? But we know they have a challenge. So, if we already know there's a challenge, we probably need to find a way to help them.
Right.
I sometimes wonder when we start saying, hey, don't say bad things about this or that. And I don't know that it's saying bad things. It's more about, this is what's going on.
Right.
And if it's going on, whether you're the federal government or the local government,
Right.
if you can't do something, let us know.
Right.
So that way, maybe as regular citizens, right, we can try to find another option. But if you just sit there and not let us know that we have these problems, how are we going to help solve them?
Right.
And at the end of the day, if they're affecting our veterans, we need to know. And as veterans, we're resourceful. If you can't do it, we'll show you how to do it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I definitely have had some veterans come in with some makeshift prostheses that
you see that. And
yeah. I mean, I'm just forever just in awe of the resiliency of our nation, of our people.
yes.
Can you tell us what insurances you accept, and can you explain the process how a service-connected veteran or a non-service-connected veteran can get in touch with you, where you're located, your email, your phone number?
Yeah, so actually we are credentialed by all insurance companies, but I'd say that especially if you have private insurance, also in addition to your VA coverage, that what really will depend on is whether it's a covered benefit within your policy. So that's something that is worth looking into. So a lot of the different insurance companies will cover prosthetics. Some will, orthotics is definitely another avenue that's not necessarily as covered. But the thing is, if it says foot orthotics isn't covered, that just means foot inserts, not or AFOs, which are ankle foot orthoses, which are devices that people with foot drop or stroke could use. Knee orthoses are generally included as orthoses that would be covered. So it just really depends on the policy spelled out by the insurance company. But for veterans seeking a referral to us, generally speaking, that you'd want to see your provider, whether it's community-based or CBOC-based. And if you're an amputee in particular, they would refer you to the amputee clinic. And then you would have a telehealth appointment with a provider based out of California. And they've been better about streamlining that process where you have a telehealth, the provider will assess your needs, and they'll send me a request for quotation. And what I've done is I'll call the veteran up and schedule an evaluation, a consult really, and it's just to confirm that this is what the veteran needs, and if there's any disconnect with what I'm seeing the veteran needs versus what's given to me as a referral, then I'll communicate that with the VA, and they've been pretty good about hammering that out. So it's just I know that they've been short-handed the past several months, 18 months or so, but I think they're definitely putting effort into getting people through the pipeline. But
they told you they're short for 18 months?
I mean, I'm aware that their section up in Hawaii.
Yeah, I believe there was a time when they came through,
Right.
and they actually told us about this, right? There was somebody that came through and said, hey, this is what's going on. And I think they started referring us out to Denver initially.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
but now we have
California now?
Yeah,
Okay.
out of Palo Alto. So they have
Wow.
someone.
That is one of the best places for veterans.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
I
We've
hear
had a couple of-
great stories about Palo Alto.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've had a couple of veterans that have actually gone out there and been in the clinic and that have been through the telehealth, and they really have a lot of nice things to say about the people that they're working with out there. So
I wanted to ask a little bit about our amputees. Do most of our amputees come from diabetes?
Yes, 100%, absolutely. So,
So-
diabetic sores and ulcers. Starts off as a small cut in the bottom of your foot, and you lose a toe, and then all of a sudden you don't just lose a toe, you lose your leg up to below your knee, and it's a
Now-
really nasty process.
What's interesting about that, right? And I've been trying to push this a lot, and I'm not sure who might be listening on our radio show, but Guam has been already designated as a location where Agent Orange was used, and even up until today, it takes these raiders from the VA 2, 3, 4, 5 times before they finally concede that, people that swear in from Guam or had spent time on active duty here on Guam, even if they're just passing through. And we've been talking about this with Dr. Akoma for years now. And we did this way before the PACT Act started. And the reason I bring this up, right, is we have high incidences of folks with diabetes, and part of that is because of the Agent Orange exposure here on Guam. Now, I find it really hard to believe that we couldn't get a veterans hospital out here knowing that we have this many problems on our island, most especially with diabetes. And by the way, Agent Orange is not just a cause of diabetes, it's also a cause for cancer,
yeah.
which we have both these things that was imposed upon the island and its people.
Right.
And right now, the only people that are able to take advantage of this right now would be those veterans who are able to claim with exposure to Agent Orange. So when I tell you that, maybe somebody, just maybe, the Doge might be looking for money to spend somewhere. And if they do, have them spend that money here on Guam and bring us a veterans hospital to take care of these things and the people. And oh, by the way, this concession of them having people exposed to Agent Orange on Guam affects all the people that are here on the island.
Absolutely.
So it is not just our veterans and service members, it's actually our local people.
Yeah.
And if we cannot even get any funding in from the federal government, if we can't even understand that Agent Orange has caused and plagued our island since the time of the Vietnam era, how are we going to help our people? Can we get Congress and these folks to come here and give us some money and start telling us, hey, Miss Lay needs help because these folks are diabetic, they're having amputations, and she needs help to take care of them. And it's not just our veterans, it's our local people.
Yeah.
And we should be getting subsidies, because if you're telling me that this is what's happening, We need that money to come in here, build a hospital, bring these services, take care of the service providers.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm going crazy.
No, I absolutely agree. You know, the thing is, like, the problem is even if we have the money to build a veterans hospital, like right now there's a nationwide shortage of clinicians and providers. So even if you have the hospital, like, you know, how are we going to man? I mean, we already have trouble manning the CBOC.
Right.
So I guess, like, the problem is, like, there's another thing that we need to address is, like, how can we find enough service providers to fill that need?
So right now we have what's known as the Foreign Medical Program, and we are taking U.S. dollars and pumping them into businesses in Korea, Japan, Philippines, Thailand. So bring those monies back to Guam, which is the closest U.S. soil. And by the way, our folks in these regions are closer to Guam, not to Hawaii. Hawaii has enough of their issues. Yeah. Hawaii should say, look, Congress, help Guam, give them their money and take care of the veterans in the region and let Guam do it. Build it on Guam because Guam is U.S. soil. Yeah. It can't just be U.S. soil when you need us. Right. It's U.S. soil when these veterans and when these people need the help.
And I agree. I mean, I absolutely agree that we definitely need a facility here.
Yes.
It goes back to the manning issue, though.
But that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
So what does that tell me? You know, we sent in a ship here, and that ship was parked on the side providing free services because we are an underserved location. Yeah. And guess what they're doing? They're training those military folks on how to do medical work. Yeah. So guess what? Start having more of those missions come here and care for our veterans.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So we can get the help that we need. So there's no way not to say we can't do that.
And we're going to go on a break. We'll be right back. You're listening to us on The Point 93.3.
Celebrate 75 years of Payless Supermarkets with a $5 off fuel coupon to redeem at any 76 Circle K location when you shop and save at Payless Supermarkets. That's right, $5 off fuel with every $75 purchase at any Payless location. But hurry, this offer is only good from March 1st to April 30th, 2025. So don't miss out. Stock up on groceries and hit the road with fuel savings from Payless Supermarkets and 76 Circle K. Minimum $30 fuel purchase required to redeem coupon. Some conditions apply.
Hi, this is Jerry Roberts. What's happening in the workplace? What about your job and career? What ideas will find their way into your world? That's what you get with the Extra Point every day on The Ray Gibson Show here on 93.3 FM. Sometimes it's about what's in the news, or working relationships, or how to get further and do better. I try to make it interesting, inspiring, and hopefully sneak a little fun in too. Be a part of it. 7:25 weekday mornings. The Extra Point. Brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank.
And we're back. I'm going to read some comments. We kept going. We just kept talking. So many things to talk about. Okay, so we have minors class, minors TKD class.
Oh, yeah.
See you both at boot camp. What's the first name?
Eleanor.
Oh, Eleanor.
Yes.
Hi, Eleanor. Oh, taekwondo.
Yes,
Okay. So we were wrapping up, right? Because we want to talk about the bill.
Yeah.
So, how can they reach you guys? Yes. Where can they reach you? I know we already talked about what insurances you guys accept, but can you just talk about a little bit about the? You said that you make your own stuff, so, and then one of the challenges you have is bringing in the material.
Yes. So, one of the things I'd like to do and start doing more of is being able to fabricate in-house. And the problem with that is that I need materials, and I order materials from off island, and typically they'll take 6 to 8 weeks, and sometimes longer to come here. So that's kind of been a barrier to us kind of improving our operational flow. But the thing is, the plan is in place, and so we want to be able to provide services that we can fabricate in-house, and that way be able to have a quicker turnaround for especially the prosthetic devices for our veterans. And in terms of reaching us, we can be reached at 671-682-0140, or especially by email, just info, India, November, Foxtrot, Oscar at Agility, so Alpha, Golf, India, Lima, India, Tango, Yankee, Golf, uniform.com. So that's info@agilitygu.com. And I would say, like, as a small upstart, small business, we may not reach us at first, but you keep on trying, and we want to be able to be of service to you. We're located at 347 West O'Brien Drive, Suite 1, and that is formerly known as Couture, and also the same building as Tommy's Pizza in Hagåtña, so you can come and check us out there. We don't take any walk-ins, though, so just give us a call.
No walk-ins?
No, it's just because we may be out on the road, and we also...
You guys do house visits?
We can.
Oh, wow.
We can. It's just that, like, we do want to get the veteran or patient into the services because we also have parallel bars for safety.
Oh,
especially if they need to walk. So
good.
that's the thing. Like, that's why we can do an initial evaluation in home, but I prefer to also have them come into the office. So the thing is, like, we don't do walk-ins because in addition to my clinical notes and whatnot, I also have to do my technical time. So I can't be seeing patients all the time.
Wow, we got to get you some help.
Yeah, I do need help.
Hey, I'm right here.
No, more help.
What are you doing? I'm right here.
But it sounds like you guys got a lot of work, and we really appreciate all the work you do for the locals and our veterans, right? And our veterans should be happy that a veteran is caring for them too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I want to make sure that we acknowledge she's actually done some work for vets that are off island as well. So we don't want to forget about our vets that are in Saipan, and Palau, and
Chuk.
and Chuk. So if they're able to get seen and are able to get those referrals, we do our best to make sure that they get service as well. So
because they don't have these services over there, right?
Does the VA send them here to you?
No, so I've also serviced veterans out of American Samoa. So
How does that work?
I'll try to do a phone call to see what their needs are, and if I can, if I feel comfortable, meeting their needs, and I'll do a telehealth appointment as well for the fitting and delivering.
Wow.
Man, you are go veterans. I love it. Yes, you're doing awesome.
Well, I'm happy that we finally got you on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And I look forward to maybe a couple more times on here. We have so much to talk about.
Your location, so your location is in Hagåtña, Old Couture next to the Old Tommy's Pizza. Do you guys still have the red door?
We don't have the red door. It's a white door. Although I do want to get it, though.
Yeah, because I remember Couture had a red door.
All red interior from what I was told.
Yeah, it was nice. So let's talk about the one thing before we end the show. Bill 8538 that was introduced by Senator Sabrina Salas-Mantanani. It's called the Guam Veterans Empowerment Act of 2025. So I'll read the few of the highlights of what the bill is. So it's the key elements is establishing the Guam State Veterans Agency, an independent, autonomous agency within the government of Guam, solely dedicated to serving veterans without political interference. Second element of the bill, create an elected Veterans Governing Commission, a body composed entirely of veterans, ensuring those who have served are leading efforts to address veteran-related policies and concerns. The third thing is empowering veterans through direct elections. For the first time, Guam's veterans will elect their own leaders to the Veterans Governing Commission, ensuring accountability and direct representation. The election will be administered by the Guam Election Commission. This bill is about empowerment, accountability, and ensuring veterans have a strong voice in shaping policies that affect them. Senator Salas-Mantanani. Your thoughts, Anthony, or my thoughts first?
You, ma'am.
I love it. Like, I love all the elements of the bill. But I know we're already reading comments, in the chat group. So what's going to happen to the current GOVA? Well, to the current commission. Well, actually, nothing's really happening right now with the current commission. They can't even do first elections, and figure out who's actually supposed to be part of the committee. And although, Senator Tamara came in, he was like, hey, I asked you guys 4 times, who's actually supposed to sit here? And no response. So maybe this will, hold their feet to the fire and say, hey, this is actually who is supposed to be here, and we're actually going to do things. the veteran agency. So what's going to happen to the state office? Well, we've seen the state of the state office, and it's not great. And there should be things going on at the state office. And as an organization, you know, our nonprofit, as an organization that deals with veterans on a daily basis, they're not doing a good job down there.
Well, and you know, so I think whenever we try to do something right, we need to get everybody's input right, and then there's a problem with that, right? Because I don't like how Anthony talks, and Charlie's got a nice haircut, and Johnny Atulai is a Navy Marine, and you know, we all have different ways of really trying to arrive at something, right? And here's the problem with that, right? We really need to just really work on that, right? So if cooler heads can prevail, if we can really give a lot of credit where credit is due a lot of times, right? And a lot of times we're really moving forward at the expense of, you know, some folks that have laid the pathway for us, and we have to account for everybody all the way across. And I think at some point, right, we're going to have to make a decision. One of my problems is, you know, like Miss Diana here, we both come from special ops backgrounds, and in special ops, you know, sometimes the things we have to do don't always resonate with the folks that send us to do the things they want us to do. And at the end of the mission, right, that's where they're going to have to figure out, you know, what they want to do next time. So with that in mind, right, let's maybe we have a caller.
Oh, okay.
So, but we do have to get everybody to the table, and we got to hear everything that everyone has to say. And by the way, at the last oversight hearing, testimony was provided by Ms. Karina, by many other veterans that we invited out there to say things and provide solutions. So I think we need to bring that up, and I think at our last task force meeting that was mentioned. So if we hadn't done anything with that, it might be a good idea to pull that up. HMI has been doing surveys on how many things are going on with our people. So, you know, if we've done that already, maybe the input of that information would be helpful. And by the way, one of the things, Charlie and Bob, is that veterans want their own veterans hospital. So I'll just put that plug for now. And we'll figure a way to get it taken care of.
Diana's saying yeah.
Do we
Go ahead,
want
you take the call?
Do we want to get the call?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Oh, it's Bob.
No.
Yeah, it is.
It says Brian.
Hello.
Oh, Brian.
Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Brenda.
How are you?
Hello. Hey, I'm going to stop by the senator's office tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I have in my possession of the bylaws of the commission that was approved in 2017.
Oh.
That nobody seems to find the copy that was stamped and given to them.
Oh,
We
okay.
approved it. I have the bylaws. It answers a lot of questions and the stuff I've been saying at the commission meetings to get this fixed.
Okay. Yeah, and
it answers all of that, and it makes it so it's by the veterans for the veterans.
Very good.
Not a political group that has been doing the commission.
Right, and you know, and this goes back.
They did have their elections.
Yeah.
This last meeting. You guys will be a member, HMI, because you are a total veteran, all veterans members, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So this answers all this stuff. Everything that I've been saying that people say, well, you know, where is it? Well, I don't know what the government did with it, but this is what it was. We approved it, and here it is.
Okay.
And no, the commission does not answer to the governor. The commission picks their members and lets the governor know. Because it's by veterans for veterans.
Very good. So it looks like, you know, already we just have some things that are showing like, you know, there's a need to really bring all these things together. So thank thank you for doing that. And this is one of the reasons I always enjoy having Brian Miranda around, aside from your veterans parking. So, hey, we're short on time. We're going to catch you back on our next show.
I know you are. I just wanted to, I heard you talk about that. I will talk to the senator tomorrow if I can, because I don't agree with that commission being paid.
All right.
Because then you have to answer the government.
Right.
Okay. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Thanks,
We'll
Jose.
see you
I'll
next
get you
week.
guys a copy.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
The Point is KUSG, Hagåtña, Guam, 93.3 FM and 104.3 HD3.
Lifting the pause on Intel. I'm Ted Lindner, Fox News. President Trump speaking with reporters on Air Force One on his way back to the White House Sunday.